This video is about, we're going to be looking at place value within the senior level. Whenever we start off place value across any level, we always do a bit of a revisit, a bit of a review about prior knowledge and what we know about the place value system. So we would always start with talking about the language of what does each column represent. So we have our ones or our units, our tens, our hundreds. We would always start with ensuring that students are comfortable with identifying the digits within each column and what they represent. So we would be looking at students being able to understand that the number here, the 3 in the ones column, represents 3 units. We would then be looking to see that the child understands that the 5 in the tens column represents 5 tens, which is equivalent to 50. And then we'd be looking at their understanding of the 2 in the hundreds column, which represents 2 hundreds. Okay, and we would go through concepts of partitioning, so breaking that up, stretching it out, and understanding what it actually means. So it's the 200 plus the 50 plus the 3, okay, which then comes together to show our 253. We would be getting them to be able to write the number out, say the number, ensuring that they're using the correct language. Okay, and be able to identify the digits across the board. So then we would move into our larger number. So we've got down here, we've got the hundreds family. So can they do the same with their thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, and so on, depending on where their entry point is. Okay, and showing that they can break it up, they can identify what each of the digits represents, and what that would look once they bring it back all together. Even in the senior level, it's not just in the juniors and the middles, we would still encourage students, particularly that need that support, to use their concrete materials. And these, again, are things that you can be using at home. So whether it's popsicle sticks or beads or teddy bears, whatever you have around the house that you can use so they can practice grouping, rearranging and partitioning numbers. With the seniors, they are larger numbers though. So we do encourage at school to use the MAB blocks, but we understand that you might not have this at home. Further down with the senior level, we would be looking at our decimal numbers. So then taking that knowledge of our whole numbers, and this would also be integrated when we're using our fractions, our percentages, and our decimals, understanding that the numbers on this side of the decimal mark would be our decimal numbers, so parts of a whole. Okay, so understanding what that looks like. And we generally would go through our fractions and our decimals and our percentages, and we'd want students to understand that these are the tenths, the hundredths, and even the thousandths and beyond, so that these numbers are actually not whole numbers. For numbers such as if we were to have a 5 in here, okay, them understanding that that's 5 tenths, which would be equivalent to 1/2, okay, and again using that trading. All right, so if we were to reach 10 in this column, where would we trade and what would that look like? Okay, and it would be the same to the hundredths. Okay, so and what that would look like, and again you could use the MAB blocks as well, and applying that knowledge across the board with our fractions, decimals and percentages.